Welcome everybody to the Give It Podcast, the podcast for blurs, for nerds. If you have a fandom, you are most certainly welcome here. We are your hosts of the most, Black Spartan, Jafar TV. Show guy Joe is on assignment. Lucky Duck's getting to watch Thunderbolts right now, but again, we're pretty much gonna hear that back from him later on. But tis the weekend, sir. Mr. Tafari, how we feeling?
I am good. Let me see. I'm making sure I got the right year before I say something wrong. Okay, yeah, I had to go pick a last one to pick up at GameStop because I forgot. I sent a bunch of cards, well, a couple of cards up to get graded a few weeks ago. So those just came back in. I know these scores are going to be terrible because some of these have been through hell. But it's more so about just keeping them preserved than what the score is. So I have a Gen 1 Ivysaur, if I can get this thing to focus. Do you even focus?
Oh, we see it. Oh, well, it did for a second.
Let me see. I don't. Technology. Yeah, so Ivysaur got a 2. I have a Gen 1 Charmeleon. I believe this one got a 1, but again, it was just about getting a slab, less than the score. These things have literally moved with me to every house, and they're from 1999. So nice. The fact that y'all are in one piece. And then my last one that I'm still trying to figure out what defect did they find, but I got a 9 on the movie edition of the Obelisk the Tormentor.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for the applause, Zuri. I very much appreciate you.
as she's plotting the milk bottle. But
part of me is like, where did I miss a point? But I'm also like, this card traveled from Wisconsin to Florida to Texas. So whatever the defect is, it could be worse. So I will take it.
Oh, it's got some mileage on it, but hey, at least you can say you have it because somebody's going to pay for it. Hopefully not $30,000 on a $1,300 fine. But anyway, we are a little bit older, guys, which means we do watch our language, but at the same time, words do fly. Also, we do play movie trailers and video game trailers that might be too intense for younger viewers. So viewer discretion is advised, aside from that welcome. So we do have a lot of trailers to get to, a lot of news that just came out after today. This one, especially on the Star Wars side, Star Wars Grand Collection. This was just recently announced as of today that there is a collection of former Star Wars games. If you are looking for Knights of the Old Republic, Bounty Hunter, and a few more, this actually might be up your alley.
Yeah, if this isn't like Switch 2 game price, this is actually not a bad bundle. Like, even if you don't like every game on here, you can take and leave some of them. Because some of these I've bought solo, and if it's around the same price, this is still a good batch of games to go back and revisit. And I'm curious if these are going to be newer versions or the same ports that are already that are out right now and on the PlayStation Store.
Well, I know from when I was looking at it, I'm not sure if this is going to be. I'm thinking it's more on the port side, but for all those that haven't seen the trailer, here it is.
The dark side is strong in this place.
And that, guys, was the trailer for Star Wars, the Grand Collection. As you guys can see, you are getting a lot from Star Wars Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, Bounty Hunter, Knights of the Old Republic, Jedi Power Battles, The Force Unleashed, Star Wars Racer, Knights of the Old Republic 2, Republic Commando, and Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast. Tafara, how much do you say this was for the collection, or do you know?
I don't know. Let me actually take a look. Because that's not a bad batch of games.
No, it's not. I mean, I love Knights of the Old Republic. really love Star Wars Force Unleashed. Star Wars Racer was pretty fun, and Republic Commando was cool. And Jedi Knight 1 and 2 were good as well, so it's not a bad collection. But I was really surprised. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Never mind, I lied. It was $90. It's $90 up front, or if you have PS Plus, you can get it for $45. Jesus, the era we live in.
Okay, so that changed my opinion on what I'm about to say then, because I'm like, if you said 40 or 50, I would have been like, okay, 40 or 50 bucks, not bad. I can live with that. $90 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games. How can I be nice about this? How can I really, I'm sorry, 9 games. How can I be really nice about this? Because you're paying $90, and I hate to say this, it looks like a port.
Yeah, I'm looking at. I think these are all just Asper Media ports put on one device. Which I need y'all to stop touching Star Wars at this point, because like I have Star Wars Racer. I think I got it like on sale on the PlayStation Store. Republic Commando plays fine. I have it on the Switch. Jedi Outcast. Both of those games have some serious, like, y'all couldn't patch this before you put this out, issues that will keep you from getting a platinum trophy for the stupidest stuff. So in Star Wars Racer, there's like a trophy. I think you have to knock out a couple racers, but trying to knock out one racer is so hard. So trying to knock out, you have to do like 7 in one race or something crazy, and it doesn't work. And then there's in Jedi Outcast, the video I sent you earlier, there's one jump that you cannot make. It is almost impossible to make in that game. And it works like an old PC game, which I think it might have been originally. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Because you got to like load you can save it 1,000 times. You just got to remember which file is which. So when you die, it's just going to take you back to your list of saves. But there's this one jump in the video I sent you to the point where somebody made a whole yakety sax montage of it. You have to get up there. You can't use cheats because that's one of the secret areas, and you need to get all the secret areas for the platinum trophy. There's so many people who just said, I quit the platinum run because of that one spot, because the angle the jump is at in the camera, it's impossible to make. So you're like, all right, I can make it. And then after like 5 attempts, you're like, all right, this is like difficult for no reason. And then once you get to like your 30th attempt, you're like, how am I stuck at this one part? Yeah, right here, Nar Shaddaa. So you're supposed to go, you got to get up there, and then you can't. And the thing is flying by, so you only get like 2 solid attempts max. Go back, load to that same spot. Yeah, this game looks like it was built for a mouse. The way the cursor goes.
It does. It was built for PC.
I remember it came out on I remember from GameCube, and even then I didn't know about the first Jedi Knight.
Yeah, it was built for PC because
if you cut the volume on, you can hear why he's speeding it up. Yeah, this was literally me trying to get the platinum.
I'm just sure about the fact there's Benny Hinn music. Benny Hinn.
This is what it's like trying to make it for some reason. Like this one spot, not even an enemy, not a boss fight. This one spot is what breaks the platinum run for so many people, because it's at such a weird. And I remember making that jump on GameCube, no problem. I don't know what it is about the PlayStation port. You cannot get in there, but it's required. Now he made it.
I mean, he barely. And then he made you. I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all for that one, because the moment he landed, I was like, save. I don't blame you at all for that. But I'm sorry, for $90, yes, you get 9 games. I do see the value in that. But for $90, this couldn't be remastered. The bugs couldn't be fixed, because Safari, I completely agree with you. What's going to wind up happening is those same bugs that were in the previous ports, I guarantee are in this one. If they literally did not do anything about it, but
so these are what I'm realizing now. The ports that I have had problems with, this is them. They're all just been bundled together. So these aren't like touched up remakes. This is basically one big bundle deal. And as we've seen, Asper Media loves to cut corners. So these are all the games I've had problems with put into one package with probably no quality of life updates. Like I got stuck at one point on the Force Unleashed, which by the way is the PS2 version if nobody caught that. Which wasn't bad. It's just that was a very deceptive era in gaming. So I got stuck on the Rancor fight on the fungus planet because if you go into a cutscene too far away, killing one of them, the other one despawns. So now you're stuck in that area and you have to start the entire level over, and that was a pain in the ass.
That would drive me nuts. But guys, let us know what you think because again, $90. I'm sorry. We're going to get into game cost and everything else because two companies made two bonehead moves this week. But I mean, for the cost of what you're paying for, and money is tight everywhere. And yes, you are getting 9 games. You are getting 9 games for $90. That's $10 a game, but it could be better. That's all I'm saying. But moving right along, guys. I did want to cover this from Capcom because again, we are still awaiting the next Resident Evil. But Capcom decided that with the numbers of players playing Resident Evil 4, they decided to give this little tidbit.
Control, do you copy?
I'm listening. Go on.
Finally. Task complete.
Very well. Then I suggest you hurry.
Copy. Don't worry, Leon. First time's free.
Los invoca. Tenemos que servir.
Huh?
Son del Todopoderoso.
Keep your eyes on the road ahead. Don't be drawn into the light or the shadows in your head. Keep your eyes on the road ahead and don't ever look back. Don't ever look back. Keep your eyes on the road ahead. Don't be drawn into the light or the shadows in your head. Keep your eyes on the road ahead and don't ever look back. Don't ever look back.
Okay, so I want to stop it there because it's basically two things you want to take from this. This is Capcom celebrating 10 million players for basically playing Resident Evil 4. Again, their remake is coming out. However, what they wanted to point out about all this is that with the Summer Games and Capcom making some surprise announcements coming up, people were kind of wondering about how this looks. Now, of course, if you flip the screen, it looks like a 9, representing Resident Evil's next game. Of course, Capcom said this is just a coincidence. It doesn't mean anything, but let's be honest, it's Capcom. They will tell you anything and everything to make sure that you're not paying attention. Now,
wait, where does it look like a 9?
Right here. So that X and that 1, if you turn the screen, it looks like a 9.
Okay. I see it. Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people are sitting there saying, is this leading to us finally seeing something about 9? To which Capcom has sat there and said, it's just a nice coincidence. This is just actually celebrating 10 million players on 4. Now, I'm going to be honest, Capcom, you have restored my faith in Resident Evil ever since 7, Biohazard. Village was great. The DLC was worth the wait. And so 9 better be the apology for Resident Evil 6. That's all I'm going to say about that. But like we said, it could be all coincidence, but keep in mind, guys, Capcom is going to be making announcements very soon regarding the Resident Evil franchise. But Tafara, you've seen the trailer. Should we just disregard that, or should we pay attention, or should we just wait?
I think we should just wait. Capcom has been paying attention to their fighting game collections. Devil May Cry animes have been doing really good.
Mm-hmm.
They could have just wanted to show love to Resident Evil fans really fast and just let them know, like, we didn't forget y'all. We just Pops just got other stuff going on right now. So if we do get an announcement, what's up coming up? Summer Games or something is?
Summer of Games in July.
Yeah, we don't get anything from Summer Games. Just take it at face value. Thanks to the players, y'all have been appreciated. That's all it is.
Hey, could be better than GTA fans getting the news they got about 6.
They need to be happy they got news, because before then, I don't think there was a release date. I think we just had a year, wasn't it?
Yeah, you're correct. There wasn't a release date, 2026. I mean, that's the interesting part, that they got to wait no whole in the year. And as a Final Fantasy Rebirth fan, I just want to tell you, GTA fans, now you know how it feels to wait. But again, like Tafara said, it's kind of a wait and see with Capcom. We will see where they go to from there. But speaking of other games that also was getting some dev play this week, Borderlands 4. We actually did get a little bit of a gameplay, although that trailer is 19 minutes long, and for sake of time, we're not going to run that one. We are going to show what you probably can expect from the next installment of Borderlands from Gearbox. Again, Borderlands is one of my favorite games. Not too fond of the Gearbox CEO for other reasons that we really can't talk about on this show. But let's just say, for simple fact of the matter is, he has a lot of explaining to do. But Tafara, have you played Borderlands or any other Borderlands games?
No, but I got friends who are very heavy into it, so I understand the hype. I know they were hoping to like bounce this off the movie, but God, that went awful. So,
oh no, they made sure. I will give them credit. They made sure to put enough time between that horrendous dumpster fire and this game, because again, I've seen it. I'm as a Borderlands fan, I'm looking forward to it, but for all those who haven't seen it, here's the trailer for Borderlands 4.
What use is a vault hunter? What use is a killer? A brute. A rule-breaking, loot-taking, running and gunning natural disaster. You are, in a word, mayhem. I take that personally.
Nothing wrong, ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of hot. No, nothing wrong with a little bit.
Be advised, a citywide curfew has been enacted. Violators will be shot on sight.
All right, and that, guys, was the trailers for Borderlands 4, as you see, coming out September 12th of this year, for Steam Store, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. I'm looking forward to it because, number one, Borderlands never disappoints on the gun aspect and on the first-player shooter aspect. And they've always been able to come up with a lot of great stories and actual DLCs that actually make it worth playing and also worth investing in. Although, if I don't see a Sir Hammerlock story again on this one, I'll be deeply disappointed because that's one of my favorite stories to play. But yeah, it looks like you're going to get a lot more different abilities. You might get a tiger. You might get a walking shooting gun with legs.
I was gonna say, what is with the animal summons all of a sudden? That's
new because in the previous Borderlands 3, there was a character that did have a beast type, but he's more like a side-by-side like World of Warcraft. He wasn't to where you can actually summon him per se, but it looks like in this one you'll be able to do that. But at least that's just an educated guess. But
okay.
but I'm looking forward to that. That looks like that's going to be a lot of fun. But aside from that, like we said, there have been some bonehead moves that being made, and well, we might as well go ahead and talk about them now because again, we understand that the economy in the U.S. right now, and I know I don't mean to want to bring this down because we're supposed to be a fun podcast, it's supposed to distract you from the world, but as a gamer, we have expensive habits. We have a lot of expensive habits. So
Expensive now.
I mean, yeah, expensive now, yes. But that being said, you know, as games get more advanced, there are some things where they do get pricier to where Microsoft has, well, how can I put this ever so nicely? Microsoft decided to basically say, and I'm just going ahead and just spitball this in the beginning. So Microsoft announced today that they will be raising the prices on Xbox consoles, controllers, headsets, and some games. This will actually start be happening as far as the hikes for consoles and accessories is going to be starting on May 1st, which means that if game prices, which again will stay the same for now, but probably along the holiday season, you will be seeing $79.99 games. If you want if you really want to be direct, Xbox Series S, whether it's the half terabyte or full terabyte, you will be paying $100 more for. Same for the digital series, and also for the 2 terabyte Galaxy Special Edition, which will almost be $730. Controllers will go up by $10, which means that your controllers, whether they're colors or cores, will be $65. The special editions will be $80. The limited editions will be $90. And the Elite Series, you can pay anywhere from $150 to $200. And of course, the stereo headset will be almost $65. And the wireless headset's $120. Keep in mind, Microsoft netted $21 billion last year. This is after their acquisitions. After acquisitions, this is after they cut, I believe it was 5,000 jobs last year. And now they're turning around and saying, yeah, we're going to have to raise the prices. And all I can stand and say is for what reason? Because here's the thing, that Microsoft does have Game Pass. And don't get me wrong, whether you have Game Pass or Game Pass PC, it is a wonderful value for what you're getting for it. You do actually able to get whatever is in the Game Pass library. You do get to play all games that are in the library. There are no restrictions as far as having internet access to acknowledge it. But here's my fear. The Game Pass currently right now for Ultimate is like $22, $23 a month. Now, with all the games, the fact that Xbox is raising their prices, I fear that the Game Pass will be next. And if Game Pass is next, they may go the route of PlayStation, which, if you haven't realized, PlayStation has 3 tiers. And again, this might have gamers who are watching their wallets might actually change their minds, or just wait till Game of the Year editions, or just wait till there's a summer, spring, or winter sale. But Tafara, what do you think with Microsoft up in the prices saying run your pockets? Does this mean that we're going to be picky about what games we check now, or do we just going to stay the Game Pass and just end of the year?
If Game Pass goes up to if it hits 30 or above, I think I'm done. Because just that much a month, that's a lot. Like PlayStation, I think what you can get. Let me see what is PS Plus.
Well, PS Plus, their lowest one is $9.99 a month, and then it goes up by $10 after that.
I think I'm still paying them like $25 for 3 months a piece for PS Plus.
Yeah.
So
if you get the 3 months here, yeah.
Let me see. PlayStation Plus, join now. Just making sure I got the pricing right.
But that's what's so crazy about it. The fact that we as gamers, if you think about it, if the price goes up, and again, Game Pass for what it is right now, I will gladly pay $22 to $23 a month for what I'm getting for Game Pass, because there's a lot of games that are day one, which means that you're getting immediate access to. Some games will come along, whether it's a week or a month from now. So I know a lot of people, knowing this news, might just be patient and just wait for Game Pass to have it. Now, But like you said, if Game Pass does and go over $30 a month, or they go the PlayStation route and try to introduce tiers, does Microsoft run the risk of losing subscribers? I think they do. I really think
Okay,
they
I'm
do.
looking at it. They scared the crap out of me. I thought they shadow hit us with the price too. Okay, so yeah, it's $24.99 for the essential 3 months. When you go to the website, they throw you right on the premium, which is $17.50 and $160. And I'm like, if it's $50 every 3 months, I might have to just cancel. I was gonna cancel mine before this show was over. But yeah, like what was it? Like Xbox Live used to be like what, like $8 a month if you got if you could buy a card. Now they got. First off, y'all have already said the games with gold are mine. I will cancel Game Pass if it goes too high and just run through all the stuff I downloaded before.
Yeah.
Because it's a bill. Like I can get Netflix and Disney Plus for less, and that's saying something.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing where Microsoft has really run the gambit as far as raising the price in their consoles. And you could say this is response to the tariffs that a certain person in a certain White House in a certain DC area may have caused, or we can sit there and say this is really just greed at its finest. Because if you've made $21 billion last year in sales from video games, why in the world do you feel a need to raise prices? Because that's where a lot of people are going to go. Oh, you're raising the prices? Oh, I'm out. And I'm sorry, and Tafara, I agree with you. It's just like if they do raise the price on the Game Pass, I'm be like, well, unless I'm playing online, I don't really need to play online. I don't really need to play online, and I can be good with that. But even though a lot of the games I do play, like multiplayer shooters, they're online. They need online connection, unfortunately. But let us know in the comments what you guys think about that as far as that goes. But like we said, Microsoft's not the only people we're mad at that's making bonehead moves. Because EA, I got a bone to pick with you. Because you had a wonderful game called Titanfall that you dropped a long time ago. And Titanfall 1 was great. Titanfall 2 could have been better, but for some odd reason, you decided to make it full multiplayer, but you didn't give it a campaign. We will never understand that. And then you eventually did give us a Titanfall that did actually have a campaign to it and a multiplayer, which was all the way great. Titanfall 3 is what I meant to say. And then this news comes out. I know, Zuri. I know. But this news comes out where EA decides to cut 300 roles, including roughly 100 at Respawn, which, again, this affects Apex Legends, but let's be honest, Apex Legends is still profitable. It's not going away anytime soon.
Yeah. Once Apex took off that first couple weekends, I was like, yeah, Titanfall. I understand it because they said, hey, rather than squeeze the game and split the team and make two things terrible, we'll focus on Apex until it's boring. And I respect that decision. But now to say Titanfall 3 is not happening, and you fire everybody that was probably going to work on that game at some point,
right?
That is disheartening, especially because we had an EA Games in Orlando, so right down the street from where I used to work. Most of my EA games that I own, I've never actually had to pay for.
And that's the thing. It's like Titanfall 3. I was looking so freaking forward to it because of how, like I said, if you never played Titanfall 2. First off, it's fun. They gave it a campaign, which I loved. It wasn't short. Yes, it was a little bit short. That's just the way things go. But at least for 3, I'm just like, look, 3 would have been freaking perfect because all you had to do was basically repeat what you did in 2. But then freaking EA, and I'm sorry, EA seems to be the company that could have gold and will pass it right on by
every time. Every single time. And I don't understand what that is about. Like 2042, I think should have just been called like Battlefield Hub because the way it was a good idea, but the way they launched it, it's like, did y'all not like check any of this? Did y'all play test this game before you put it out? And I say this as somebody who has done play testing at EA, like official, for like 3 years before I moved. Yeah, because that's how I got the games. They invite you in, they test Also, none of the stuff I tested, I think, has ever come out. I think they were like they made sample stuff to like implement into other things. I'm not sure what it was about. But like you very much play test and record the feedback from players, so it's not like you don't know. So I don't get what the disconnect is where they just start cutting corners. And then to find out how much stuff they were trying to put into the Battlefield game or the Battlefront games. And I think Disney and EA official was like, we made enough money, leave it alone. But they're like, okay, but why? Y'all are clearly making shows and movies. Like, let us keep. Like, there's so much stuff that's supposed to be in that game right now.
But that's the thing that I don't get. It's like, I know with EA. I mean, thank you for Mass Effect. I love that. I love the entire trilogy. I love Titanfall and 100 different other games that EA had a hand in creating. But also, I feel sorry for nearly 670 people losing their jobs for no reason other than EA saying, well, we're doing restructuring. At the same time, you had the next Titanfall 3, which we all were looking freaking forward to. And now are going to basically get our hopes dashed again. Which, again, I don't get it. It makes no sense. You're basically just going to keep teasing that. At the same time, it's the reason why we keep on saying EA will forever shoot themselves in the foot. Because they always do the same thing over and over again. But, again, let's know what you guys think outside of Microsoft and EA making bonehead moves. I just think that I think Sony's just waiting in the wings and going, see, you guys were basically going to head our way eventually. We were just ahead of the curve, and they hated us for it. And it seems Microsoft has joined the dark side in so many ways. But other video game trailers that we do have before we get to our movies and a documentary I did not see coming. Wuchang Fallen Feathers did release another trailer that's called basically about the bride. And again, it lets us know exactly when to expect the game. But if you have not seen Wuchang Fallen Feathers, think of it like Phantom Blade Zero, but a little bit different. I know, Zuri.
Sisters we are. Sisters will stay. Sisters from birth. Sisters till grave. Smithies they are. Scissors they'll make. A tool for us to help us escape.
All right. So that was the trailer for Wuchang Fallen Feathers. As you guys can see, it is coming out July 24th of this year. If you are wondering, it is a little bit Souls-like. Not really sure what the difficulty level on Souls-like, but as you can tell, there is a stamina meter, and there is fighting, and there seems to be an epic soundtrack. I definitely know I'm going to play this sometime in July, but I'm pretty sure we're going to get more information as Summer of Games happens around that same time frame. But Tafara, what about you? Does this interest you or think you'll give it a shot?
I might take a look at it. Very much giving the same kind of Wuchang vibes, because I know that's kind of been a good door opener for that genre and that mythology. So I'm curious to what the story is they're telling with this one.
Yeah, but I mean that supposedly it's about you're basically a princess that's been poisoned, but at the same time you're trying to fight for a cure. If I've got the gist of the story right.
Okay.
I think about right. But again, whatever it just seems between that and Phantom Blade Zero, we're not gonna run out of Souls-like games anytime soon, but definitely looking forward to that. But like I said, do got some movie trailers. I gotta start with this one because a documentary about the John Wick franchise was not on my bingo list for 2025. And what I mean by that is, guys, there is a documentary about the John Wick franchise called John Wick, Wick is Pain. If you have not seen the trailer, let me just play it. It'll explain itself.
When we say John Wick is pain, it's kind of like a fuck yeah.
I knew Keanu for years before I directed him. I don't know if you realize what kind of advantage that is.
No better union could have happened in the film business than Chad and Keanu.
They bleed Wick, they die Wick, and that's why it's so good.
When you see Keanu in pain on screen, it's probably for real.
We came up with this idea for Top Shot. Where's the we? Well, you!
Yeah.
We might as well tell the whole story.
We were a tiny little movie.
We're shut down. I don't know how you find $6.5 million by Monday.
I took money out of my house. We are doomed. We are completely fucked.
We were panicked. This is Keanu fucking Reeves. You do not want to let him down.
Bye-bye, John Wick.
These two are not talking to each other.
I went through a horrible divorce.
It was insane.
We got to get this done.
Shoot.
It was just pure mayhem.
In Hollywood, you never kill a dog.
This is either genius or the worst thing I've ever made.
This is fucking terrible. How many more hits can this movie take?
I think this is the nail in the coffin. This movie's about vengeance, not John Wick's. Ours.
Is the pain worth it? Yeah, it's just a lot of pain.
Wick is pain. Wick is celebration. Wick is against the odds. Wick is friendship. Wick is love. It's all those big ideas. Fuck yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna throw this out there. How is this not a movie? Look, I'm just gonna throw this out there. Also, as you can see, Wick is Pain will be on digital May the 9th. All I can sit there and say is, and Tafara, correct me if I'm wrong in saying this. How can this not be a movie you will watch in movie theaters?
I think they want to save the experience for Ballerina because that's still going to be around the corner.
True, but it's the fact of because for all those they're still that just tuned in or just caught us. That was Wick is Pain, which is basically the documentary of the John Wick franchise. And apparently there are stories that we did not know beyond this franchise that it may have not seen the light of day. And you would think for a Keanu Reeves movie that it's unheard of, but yeah, it just seems that there's a lot of stories, a lot of action. Although I do love how they explain some scenes, like in I want to say the top one was in the last one, was in the last John Wick movie where he had the top up shot where you see him literally going through the kill house and taking out folks.
Yeah,
and I love that kind of stuff. Or being on horseback with 10 assassins on motorcycles, and you're on horseback double tapping. Or still my favorite, Johnny Damascus playing ultimate John Wick fanboy as you are trying to take him out. And I still say Common's going to show up somewhere. I still think he is.
The problem, he's got to make an appearance. There's been too many people in this franchise for them all not to have some spot in this documentary, especially if it's not going to be a fifth movie. But if you want to keep touching on the franchise, by all means, bring in everybody.
Right. Because I'm sorry, you're not going to, I mean, we just can't, I'm just saying, we just simply cannot let that go as far as Common being stuck in Parabellum. And it's like, oh, we know he's going to make a return. But also I do agree with Ballerina coming out. This might make sense not to have that movie theaters, although I think Ballerina is going to be great in its own right. And we do know that Donnie Yen's character Kane is getting his own movie as well. So, and again, they're teasing another John Wick movie, and I'm just like, how? After 5, how? If you haven't seen 5, I recommend that you do. And I know, Zuri, I know, trying to explain, you're going to do another John Wick movie, and yet how 5 ended, I got questions. But going back to Wick is Pain, I definitely want to watch it because, again, John Wick, the entire franchise has really been a sleeper. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, when John Wick first came out, the first movie, there was not a lot of advertising. I think there may have been 1 or 2 commercials, maybe 1 or 2 commercials the first movie, but that was it. It didn't get the press tour. It didn't get the whole media blitz. You didn't see Keanu on morning talk shows or radio shows, but everybody saw the first movie. And then chapters 2, 3, 4, and 5, let's be honest, they got the full 9 yards. So it just goes to show you that the first movie really was banking on a lot because they were not given a lot. But again, I want to look forward to this. I can't wait till let's see, May 9th, 7 days from now. So I really cannot wait to actually sit there and see that. But Tafara, what about you?
I'll probably check it out. Again, I think if they do hint at another movie, which could be the purpose for the doc, or it could be a way for them to alley-oop Ballerina. And then I feel like Ballerina could probably still give us a hint at either a 6th movie or another John Wick spinoff coming off. So people haven't gotten tired of this franchise at all. So I don't blame them for putting out what they can at this point.
Oh yeah, because people still want to see John Wick. We still want to see what happens because the high table really is still out there. But I digress. So we do gotta go to The Rock because why? The Rock right now needs some wins because how WrestleMania was handled really did involve him and he didn't handle it well. Movies outside of Moana 2 aren't doing as best they can, and now he's about to star. Can we say this is his first serious role in the Smashing Machine, or is this going to be a make or a break movie for him, Tafara?
I don't know what to make of this. Like, this is, I mean, it depends on what you call serious, because he's had all the Fast and the Furious movies. but it's like he's playing himself, but he's not.
Well, he's playing a role of a former UFC legend.
Okay.
So in this case, with the Smashing Machine, he's actually, I forgot the guy's name, because he was one of the pioneers of UFC before UFC became actually popular. I forgot his name that fast, but I think they mentioned the trailer. So for all those that are wondering what The Rock looks like, trust me, you will not recognize him with the flash surgery they did on this man's face. But here's the trailer for his new movie, The Smashing Machine.
Probably looking at my eyes.
How did that happen?
Well, have you ever heard of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, the UFC?
That's the bloody thing they're trying to ban.
This guy is the best he has ever seen.
Do you hate each other when you fight?
Absolutely not.
How do you know Mark Kirby? Oh, we go way back. But he's a buddy of mine.
Come on, baby. Too much?
Never.
Too much?
No.
Please welcome in his Octagon debut, Mark Kirby!
Winning is the best feeling there is. It's 40,000 people,
Yeah.
and they're cheering you on. There's no other high like it in the world. No contract, no money?
No money.
Do you have any stronger pain medication?
Advil?
Advil?
Yeah.
Don, would you like
No.
They're handing them out like candy. Let's all get in. Everybody get in. Yeah, Don, can you take this picture for us?
Yeah.
What are you thinking at the beginning of the fight?
It's simple. Am I going to hurt him before he hurts me?
Yes, there were times, I'm sure
This Grand Prix to crown the greatest fighter in the world. He has come back from the brink. Let's see if he can pull out a victory over Mark Coleman. Have you spoken to either about fighting such a good friend for a life-changing amount of money?
I faced it all.
I just need you to let me in.
I took the bull.
Always about you. Only about fighting you.
Let's fucking go. Big strong man. I love you.
Think he wants your autograph.
Sure, no problem. No fighting.
All right, so guys, that was the trailer for Rock's new movie, The Smashing Machine. As you can see, will be in theaters this year, October 3rd. I'm gonna be honest, I may give that a shot because he was UFC. Mark Kerr was the guy's name, UFC legend Mark Kerr. I don't know. I want to say this is gonna be Rock taking on a more serious role because the more I think about it, outside of a few direct-to-DVD roles, he really hasn't had one that stands out. But since this is being done by A24, which A24 has had a lot of hits as of late, I might actually give this a theater watch. But Tafara, what about you?
I might check it out. It's I didn't know that. I thought they started with the Octagon. I didn't know they were just in regular rings back in the day.
Yep. I had to think about that because I'm like UFC was at the time was almost seemed like ECW. It was like a renegade, really a renegade promotion that a lot of cities didn't want because they didn't want unlicensed fighting in their cities. So it was kind of treated just like a sideshow for the longest time. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Yeah, it's just the makeup job is interesting because that looks like a real, like it doesn't look like The Rock on a makeup. That looks like a real, like different actor just with his voice.
Right.
Like you can't even tell. It's like it's almost hard to like. You can tell it's not. It's prosthetics, but you're like where and like how. What was the? It's so interesting how they went about it. It's then having to sweat and work out with it. I'm like whoever's in the department. I hope y'all get nominated for something because that's impressive by itself.
Right. Oh, it was, but that's how I'm interested in this story because again, don't get me wrong, I want to see The Rock win. I think he needs to have a win under his belt, movie wise, because again, nobody's ever gonna let him forget Black Adam. We will never let you forget Black Adam. But again, the Smashing Machine, we'll let you. Like I said, we'll definitely get that shot come October 3rd. Let us know in the comments what you guys think of it. Will you give The Rock a shot or will you pass him along? Either way. But speaking of a movie that honestly I am not really sure as Obi runs behind me screaming. Oh, full out of here tonight. So now you see me, now you don't. Before I play this trailer, Tafari, is this a movie? Is this another movie of a trilogy that we asked for, or do you think this is a money grab?
It might be a money grab. Like, I think the first two were okay. I don't know if we needed a third out of this.
I don't know either, and the trailer doesn't really give me a lot of hope. But for all those who are wondering, this is the third installment of their series called Now You See Me, Now You Don't, as Zuri screams.
In the world of magic, everything that disappears reappears. Whew! It is very good to be back.
Come up, you're gonna be our helper.
Okay, disappear in 3, 2, 1.
J. Daniel Atlas in the house. Who wants to see a magic trick? I think we would have made the horseman proud. My Atlas was spot on.
Really? I'll be the judge of that. According to that card, for some reason, I need you.
Why not the other horsemen?
The other horsemen are dead.
Oh my God, what?
No. They're like dead to me. Things got too real for them. They gave up. Stop interrupting. I'm talking about a trick that is bigger and better than anything you have ever seen. It's now or never.
What's the trick?
The heart diamond. It's the most valuable jewel in history.
But what makes this diamond so special?
Because a magical tarot card told us.
For decades, the Vanderbergs have been selling diamonds to warlords, arms dealers, traffickers to help launder their money.
If you want to stop the devil, don't cut off her hands. You lift her wallet.
Open sesame.
Still safe with me.
Relax. Diamonds are forever.
Stop him!
Jack? What are you doing here?
Saving your ass.
Emily Reed?
Fanboy later.
Hi, guys. I don't know you.
Let's go!
My horsemen. We were brought together for a reason.
Gummies kicked in.
Bring down 2 generations of criminals with a single sleight of hand.
8 magicians against a worldwide criminal network. I like our chances.
Want to see a magic trick?
Thaddeus? You enjoying the show?
Shall we get on with it?
Hey, guys, dead end.
Open sesame.
Way to represent, Merritt.
Worth a try, was it? Never know. I think you do know.
And the fact that it doesn't have a release date yet, that's concerning. That was Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Will be coming soon.
Maybe I'm not 100% like I don't know. You say it's good to be back. Do you mean like as a magician or just in general after Lex Luthor didn't work out? Like which?
Is it just me or does his character he just basically plays the same annoying character in every movie now?
In between, it's either that or awkward like The Social Network.
I'm just like, I'm really trying to give Jesse Eisenberg. I'm trying to give him credit, but I'm like, dude, I can barely tolerate you in the first 2 Now You See Me movies, and you're giving us a third that looks like it might go direct to DVD at this point. And I love magic. Do not get me wrong. I love magic. I love watching a magic show. I may be up in age, but I will still sit down and enjoy a good magic show. But or even a movie like FX or Sleight of Hand, or even the original Now You See Me. That was a great concept. I just think that the third one is kind of beating a dead horse. I'm not gonna lie to you. It doesn't just give me a lot of confidence to watch a third movie the same thing, because it's not like a John Wick movie. Like, okay, 1 was great, 2 outdid it, 3 outdid 2, 4 had to outdo 3, 5 was like, okay, we're gonna have to just be the peak and then disappear for a while. That's the smart thing you can do. Now You See Me coming back. I think there's like, wait, I want to say, has it been 7, 8 years since 2 if memory serves around? I think it's almost been almost a decade. But I just, like I said, Tafara, it could just be just me. I just see it as a cash grab, and I'm not. It's one of those movies. If I catch it on streaming, I'll watch it, but I'm not running out to the theaters to go see it if it even gets in the theaters.
Yeah, first one was cool. Yeah, Zuri. First one was cool. Second one was all right. This, I don't know. Like, are we magicians? Are we robbers? What? Why do we care about these people? Why are we involved? What's the motivation? What are we doing? It's I may have to let other people tell me about this one and catch it when it comes to the crib. I'm just not seeing it for this.
I'm the same way. Well, but again, let us know in the comments what you think. I just, like I said, I don't see it. I really don't. But thing I am looking forward to, because we talked about Predator Badlands, we talked about Alien Earth. We actually got a new clip for Alien Earth. I will say this: it's Alien, which means that if you are squeamish, or if you do plan on eating sometime tonight, you might not want to watch the next 3 minutes. But for everybody else, here's the clip of the upcoming show for Alien Earth that's going to be appearing on FX. All right, and that, guys, was the next trailer for Alien Earth, where they showed the station clip. Now, if you haven't seen Alien Earth, guys, or seen trailers for it, this is basically the next show for FX that basically shows from what we saw, was a container ship containing the xenomorphs heading for Earth. Now, again, we know that there's another Alien movie in the works. We do know that there is a Predator Badlands movie, which again we did cover week before last, and looks great. Again, I can't say anything more about Alien Earth that I do look forward to watching it, and really want to see where they go with the story in this. Even though it is being produced by FX, which has a good track record. Excuse me, which has a good track record of shows, but I don't think there's anything else I can really more add to this. Tafara, what about you?
Very curious to see how or what this is. Props to whoever did the sound design on that trailer because it's gross.
Right.
I'm also curious because they said there's going to be 5 new species. So I'm curious if this is going to be 5 different IPs getting tied in, 5 new things, or 5 xenomorph variants that are getting unleashed, and we are just. This show is about being on cleanup before all those things end up breed and make Earth home.
Pretty much.
Or do we lose in the end, and that calls the Predators to do cleanup for us AVP setup, especially because we have this coming. There's the Wayland logo here, the Wayland android in the Predator Badlands. I like where those franchises are moving because everything's starting to come together now.
Yeah, and that's what kind of, like I said before. I know I was, and if you heard me, I say I'm speaking a point, but other people say I'm complaining, which is fine. I wanted things different. I wanted a different retelling of the Predator story. We're getting that Predator Badlands because it looks completely different from any other Predator movie, and that's fine. I love that. Alien Earth looks great because we've never seen an alien story to where we've actually had xenomorphs on Earth. Everything as far as alien wise has always either has been on a planet, a derelict ship, but it's never been on Earth. So again, different story. I'm looking forward to them both, honestly. But I'm just saying. But we'll definitely catch up and give our reviews on Alien Earth once it starts appearing on FX, hopefully very soon. I know, guys, we keep on talking about Andor because the new season started. I myself am still catching up because I feel like I wouldn't be able to give Andor due justice if I don't watch it from the beginning. So I'm still getting through season 1. Tafara, have you seen any new Andor? And if so, what you think?
I finally got caught up on season 1, first 3 episodes of season 2. I like the show. I like what it does for kind of setting up the Rebel Alliance and kind of showing how annoying an overzealous coworker can be.
Man,
that blonde lady is very much being given all the plot armor in the world. But I like what it's doing, and I think this is it because then this is leading like right into Rogue One after the season.
Yeah,
I like how everything from like just doing the original robbery to the prison break. It's a good show. It's really showing you like just the amount of crap you deal with in an imperial society these days. Even the fact that they were like policing his mom's funeral to a point,
and how relative it is, as I usually tell people, how relative it is compared to the elements of Andor to current society.
Yeah,
that's a big one, to current society. From what I've watched so far, again, loved it. I love this because really what this is the beginning before Rogue One. So you are seeing the rebellion in its infancy stages, and again surrounding a certain figure. And I keep saying this: Star Wars can definitely do this. Every story does not have to be Sith or Jedi. Every story does not always have to be about the rebellion or the Empire. You can tell a lot of stories from different perspectives from multiple characters within this universe. And again, Andor does not disappoint. But hopefully I'll be caught up on that very soon. But yeah, again, worth watching if you haven't already. The Last of Us, what can we say about episode 3? It was more of a setup. And again, because I know me and Tafari have both played The Last of Us Part 2. So to explain episode 3, this kind of sets up to where you pick up in the game. Let's be honest. If you've been under a rock by now, you realize Joel is no longer with us. There have been changes in how that happened with Abby's character, with the WLF. You are seeing the scarred ones. I forgot what they call them in the game. I forgot what they called the scarred ones in the game, but
I know they're called the Scars. I'm trying to remember what the actual was the Seraphites or the Seraphims?
Seraphims? That might be it. That actually might be it. But yeah.
Yeah, Seraphites. That's what they were called, the Seraphites.
Okay. So yeah, so we do get to see the Seraphites. We do get to see the Washington Liberation Front, or the WLF, as they're called in the show. But we are seeing the beginnings of Ellie making good on her promise that she's going to hunt down every one of Abby's camp and she's going to kill them all. We do see that Dina does go with her. However, Dina's not with child at this moment. It is an interesting twist to see the old man who apparently was blaming on the alcohol, but really he was being his real self, decide to actually help out the troop and even give her the better rifle, and even giving them a horse as they travel to Washington. And then that's where you see the Seraphites, and then that's where you see the WLF. But meanwhile in town, there seems to be a little unrest as they are rebuilding from the last attack from the clickers and the bloaters in the show. So 3 was more of a setup than anything else. I guess to give everybody a chance to recover from what happened in episode 2. But it does lead to where I think they are kind of fast forwarding the story a little bit, because at this rate, Ellie's going to run into, I forgot his name already in Washington. He's going to run into old boy. She's going to run into old boy first, at least by the way the story's going. But I mean, not really a lot to take away from episode 3. Like I said, it's more of a recovery period from what happened in 2. But Tafara, what do you think of episode 3?
For a TV show, it does a better job giving setup, because literally we just teleport to everybody being on the road.
Yep.
So, which it makes more sense, because at least we know, like, hey, you can't just let, especially now that they added the attack in, you can't just let all your best people who clearly were important to defending this town go off willy-nilly on a revenge mission, especially when we have the giant hole in the wall that we haven't fixed. We have a bunch of people we now need to bury, and forces we technically need to replenish because of what happened. So yeah, we had some people come in and take one of ours, but right now needs of the many outweigh the wants of the few.
Right.
It also makes more sense because, like, before then, Ellie and Dina just up and leave, and no one says anything. And then, Dina goes off just because. Then there's the I'm trying to think what else. I like that there's a diplomacy factor, because it is a lot of, when you look at it, it's a lot of stupid emotional decisions, because it's like, yeah, you're just gonna up and leave the town, like, just abandon all your responsibilities that require what little people who live here right now to actually go and do their jobs. But in this one, at least gives them more of a reason. It's like, hey, we got too much rebuilding to do here to risk losing more people.
Right.
Because I think they said they wanted to send like 16 people to go after what was like, a team of 5?
Yeah.
So giving and everybody was saying Dina being there instead of Tommy when Joel died at least gives her a reason to go, because at least now it's less. She was at least a witness to it versus just I have a crush on Ellie, so why not?
Right.
Although Tommy, we know Tommy's gonna go, but
oh yeah,
the whole thing was that it gave Tommy problems in his marriage. It was like, all right, we at least understand Tommy's important to his wife, now son, and the rest of Jackson, because without Tommy, the town would have basically been taken over.
Pretty much.
But it at least gives everybody more weight and more logical reasoning to move the way they do, and then makes the consequences for what they are going to do make more sense. Because it's like, hey, we have an ecosystem. It's not just about the people's emotional state. We have an ecosystem that's going to be affected.
Yep.
I'm curious what's going on with the Seraphites, because it looks like, I think a lot of them are like bleeding out the nose. Like, did they drink the Kool-Aid or what happened? Because
Yeah, that's the thing about the Seraphites, because they never said in the game. That's why I think it's got to be a different twist. Because in the game, they're not bleeding. They are being chased by the hunters. So that's a whole nother can of worms. But them all bleeding from the nose, that's a little different. Because that's why I wonder if they're going to explain that in the show.
Yeah, I was like, did y'all all try to ride the comet, or did the WLF gun y'all down? But I'm like, this seems like it's way too. Like they got you all are like in the same spot. So that was. And then I know she said she found the one guy that was dead away from the pack, but the rest of them were. So I'm curious what that is. I'm curious if we're gonna meet the little girl and her sister anytime soon.
Yeah,
because that'll
get dark. That one right there will get dark, especially with and Abby Abby being sacrificed. I don't know if they're gonna do that one. Of her getting hanged by the Seraphs.
Yeah, so that I'm curious if we're gonna get that, if that's all gonna be season 3 territory. Like, because that's a lot to throw in there. I know we're not getting the Rat King this season. I know that's
we're not getting that.
That's got to be its own thing for next season for Abby's story. But I like the setup. The setup makes what everyone's doing and what they will suffer for make a lot more sense versus just we're all angry and we're all gonna 4 of us gonna take 3 separate trips to the same place and nothing bad happens to us until we get there together.
Pretty much. But again, still a fun show to watch. 3 episodes in. Let us know what you guys think in the comments with The Last of Us. So far, outside of, we might still see flashbacks to Joel with Ellie, but we'll definitely check up with that. Although everybody's like, but Abby's not buff enough. Let it go. You will not get buff Abby. You take what you can get at this point. But outside of that, guys, the anime reviews. Tafar, I'm gonna let you go first as far as your reviews for the week on shows.
I believe the Yaiba show was a remake, if I'm correct. I think I've seen this because I know I've seen this before. It is very much a it's got its own serious tones of I want to be the best swordsman or whatever, but it's very much a kid show. Turn your brain off, have a fun time. Like, even when the bad guys show up, it's nothing really too serious. Like, it's serious in its own way, but not serious at all.
Right.
Binge the first, I think, 5 episodes today. It's a fun watch. I'm gonna sit down and just have something silly on with the kids. That's cool. Fire Force did what it did best last week. You laughed and then got immediate despair in the span of 20 minutes because Arthur showing up to save the day and then realizing he fell off the damn truck before we got to the way they killed that last person. That's one of the funniest deaths ever because I didn't to me it's funny because it's like, all right, you got all these fire powers and it's like, well, the gun still works, so 9mm to the forehead, but then giving the infernal or turning Captain Obi to an infernal,
right,
and then I'm still not 100% on what is going on with the first squad captain just betraying everyone and then they just let him leave to go do this in the first place.
I thought that was a plan. I was like, okay, because he went willingly. I'm like, you're just willing. You're just gonna serve the evangelical and have no questions. And this is after you trained, old boy.
It's clear that they have some pull because they're very much moving out in public now. Because even the cops, they were with the White Clad when they arrested Obi.
Right.
So I think that whatever it is they're trying to do, they're trying to make their moves immediately. So. And then pulling Captain Burns into it, I'm surprised he went with that so easily. And now, him and Shinra are fighting. I'll take any excuse to get Joker back because I think that's one of my favorite characters for this show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like what this season is doing so far. Vigilantes is cool for My Hero. I like the cast we have. I like that we get to see I like that we get to see before UA. I like that we get to see Ida's brother because the only time we really knew him was when he got crippled by Stain. So seeing who he was as a hero before Ida had to take over the Ingenium title is actually pretty cool. And then seeing just this random ragtag team of 3 people just basically trying to stop a local drug ring before it expands into a national issue is also pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
So-
Vigilance was funny because Knuckle Duster, the man has no quirks, but all hands.
That's no quirks at all. Just I like that they all just say, hey, we can go solve crime, but like we all have to clock into our day jobs first.
Right. Vigilantes is definitely fun. Also, on another note, the last My Hero book one shot did come out from My Academia, which kind of covers it. Definitely check it out. It is available. It's a nice little wrap up. I'm not going to spoil how My Hero ends because, again, if you're waiting to watch it, I don't think that I don't know if Hulu or Crunchyroll actually has the ending. I have to go back and go check on that. I know Hulu doesn't. Crunchyroll might. Crunchyroll might actually have the ending to My Hero, but I don't think Hulu does. I'll have to double check on that.
Yeah, they got the last season. It's still on the way, but I'm like, there's not a lot left. Like if this last season goes past 12 episodes, I would honestly be shocked.
Me and you both. I will say from my side, Lazarus, again, on Adult Swim, it gives me Cowboy Bebop vibes, and I can sit there and I can watch it. It's fun. The story of a drug that apparently will kill everybody in 30 days if you have taken it is an interesting story, but also the group that's been assembled to it also have wonderful side stories on their own. I don't want to go too deep into it because, again, if you do want to take a shot at it, it is available on Adult Swim. It is also available on Max. There we go. Had to think about it. Available on Max if you want to take a look at it. It's 4 episodes right now. So definitely give it a look when you want to. Sword of the Demon Slayer. It is very it's different. It's different because it is kind of a slow burn. There is a lot of action. There are a lot of action sequence when he does face demons. But the rest of the time, it is kind of a Ryohei Kenshi kind of type deal to it. If I had to kind of compare it to, but still definitely worth watching. You get a chance. But again, enjoy all this stuff, guys, because eventually, if Crunchyroll has its way and Hulu has its way, that might be our only ways of watching anime outside of going on the Grand Line. Just saying. But not just our anime, guys. We want to talk about. Let us know about anime that you watch, that you like. Again, it's all suggestions. We're always trying to bring something different and to anime, especially one that needs to be watched, that needs to get our attention, and most importantly, needs to get our Patreon. So, with that being said, that's all the news that I got. Farah, you got anything left?
No, it hasn't really been a news crazy week for me, so nothing too crazy. Go see Thunderbolts. I'll say that much. That is very much a.
I was gonna ask you I was gonna ask since you got to see it. How'd you like it?
Yeah, I won't sit here and say, "Oh, the MCU is back" because I like Captain America 4. This very much is doing a good job of staying in the same realm and doing a good setup job. Like, this is the other side of this government era of the MCU that we're in, where last time we were dealing with Captain America Sam and a new president that was questionable due to his past, whereas this time we're dealing with Valentina and the shadier things and Congressman Bucky Barnes, and we're seeing the flip side of, all right, even like on the underground side, we don't have anybody who would come to stop us or help us should problems occur. I kind of like what they did with Bob and Sentry. I realize you can't just let a character like that go crazy and then like have them defeated by something silly, because then it kind of nerfs them for the future. So they did a good job at least showing us, but setting up for something bigger later on. They also did a good job of passing the torch to what the next series or possible films is going to be. Definitely worth staying for the second end credit scene. I'm curious if it honestly gave away too much, but it very much got back to formula, thank God, with these last two movies. Here's what's going on. Here's where we're at. Here's what's next.
Okay, because I was going to ask, was there a post-credit? Was there a mid-scene? Although, thanks to, again, is there a post-credit scene and is there an end-credit? Is there an end-of-film scene?
Mid-credit scene, I will say, is just, it's silly, but it's good. End credit scene, that one is definitely worth staying for, because that one very much tells you timeline-wise where we're at, what's going on, the status of certain characters and their relationships that we may not have seen, as well as what's possibly going to be coming next, or what issues we might be dealing with in the next coming films.
Okay, good to know, because hopefully we'll get to see the kids tomorrow, but we'll see. Outside of that, guys, I do, before we do get to the comic pools, we do want to let everybody know that tomorrow is Free Comic Book Day. If you are, especially I know in our area in Middle Tennessee, Free Comic Book Day is tomorrow. If you have a comic book store near you, there is a Free Comic Book Day starting May 3rd. Comics are for everyone. So please, if you do have a local comic book store near you, take take the kids, take some friends, take somebody that's never been to a comic book store, and allow them to have an experience. And hey, you can't beat free. Depending on the quantities they have available at your comic book store. I know in mine in Middle Tennessee, we do have Rick's Comic City, located in Nashville and Clarksville, Tennessee. Nashville's #1 go-to place for comic books for the last 7 years. Definitely check them out tomorrow, as they will have free comics as well as everything else. Also, guys, support your local comic book stores, support your local bookstores, support your local libraries. They definitely do need our patronage. Again, it's Free Comic Book Day tomorrow. You cannot beat that with a stick. Now, of course, Show Guy Joe isn't here, but we do have comic book pulls for the week. I do want to start, let's just start what we got in front of us. So I do want to start with this one, Power Rangers Prime, issue number 6 by Melissa Flores, Joe Mingong, and Fabi Marquez. I'm going to be honest, this is Power Rangers Prime. Joe loves the story. Tafara, have you had a chance to review this, see this comic?
No, this one's actually kind of new to me. I didn't know there was a 6th version. I know you guys have brought it up. I didn't know there was a number 6 out.
Yeah. Issue number 6 for this one, because this is actually a new story set within the universe. Not my favorite, but then again, to each their own. The story to me kind of felt a little dragging on, but then again, like I said, each different strokes for different folks. Not knocking this comic. If you definitely do want to check it out, I highly recommend that you should, especially if you are a Power Rangers fan. I just know for me, it just the series doesn't grab me, but still deserves a decent read. The next one I got, Doom's Division, issue 2. This does follow the One World Under Doom storyline that is encompassing the MCU right now, to where Sorcerer Supreme Doom does rule the world. This is an issue during API or Asian Pacific or Island Month. So definitely check this one out as well. Nice story for what it is. Don't want to give too much away because it does go into the One World Under Doom storyline, but would highly recommend that you check this one out as well. Beyond that, sticking with the One World Under Doom, we have Thunderbolts Doomstrike issue 3, where you literally have 2 different groups of Thunderbolts. I will leave it at that because there are a lot of twists in this story. Under this issue, would highly recommend it just because it does fall in line with the One World Under Doom. But that's all I can say outside of just going out and giving this a read. You will not be disappointed, especially with Bucky, because Bucky showed out. I'm just going to leave it at that. Next one I got, Ultimate Spider-Man, issue number 16. Again, I can't give too much away in this. I will just say this. The cover speaks for itself. However, the person that is behind the globe is going to be a nice twist. The Ultimate series for Spider-Man, Black Panther, and Wolverine have been great so far. If you haven't had a chance to read this in the beginning, I highly recommend that you do. It is one of the better Spider-Man stories being told out there right now. This issue, like I said, has a big surprise. I do not want to ruin it just because, again, you're going to be surprised about the direction they take, but at the same time, it's a nice direction. It's not recycled. It's supposed to be a shock. And again, I'll leave it at that. Godzilla versus Spider-Man. This is basically the advertisement. Of course, Godzilla taking on the entire MCU. Not mad about this issue, especially how they're doing this story because it is a one-shot. Just that, again, I'm not surprised by this. This is basically Spider-Man following his battle, following Battle World. So hence why you're seeing a certain symbiote, or that you think it's a symbiote suit. But again, definitely check that out when you get a chance. Still worth actually the read. But that's really the comic pulls that we do have for this week, guys. Again, definitely check them out. Also, like I said, just because I may not like something, or Tafari might not like something, or Joe may not like something, please do not think that that's a terrible comic. All comics deserve to be read, all to be seen, and also your indie comics as well. Let me not forget Knights of Abyss. Let me not forget Bitterroot. Let me not forget Philadelphia. Let me not forget. I can keep going down the list because these are all comic creators that we have met on Blurred's Eye, and I try to give everybody, love. But Killer Bee and Midnight Comics and Concrete Comics, and like I said, I can keep going down the line of all these indie creators. And again, highly recommend that you support them however you can. But with that being said, guys, that's really all that we have for this week. So with that being said, Tafari, sir, the man, the myth, the legend, will let people know what you're doing.
Working on a few things. Actually, my sister, because she's an artiste type person, she's helping me with the project. Some storyboard things I've been trying to get done for the last few weeks. We're trying to do this kind of like goofy producer's pitch video for a Zelda film that'll hopefully be done on Monday. I just got to download a lot of the extra footage, working on getting some of our interviews from BlurredCon out, but trying to figure out how to send large files to one another has been a pain in the ass. We're hopefully getting it figured out sometime in the next few days. Let me see what else. Probably would do a video for these cards tomorrow, because I know some people asked me about this grading process and how trustworthy it is. I think they did a decent job. What else have we? Oh yeah, Skit for South of Midnight is out. Still fundraising for DreamCon, which we got approved as press. We'll be back there. Basically just announced it's going to be a big Boondocks reunion for the 20th anniversary this year, so that's right up my alley. So things are on the horizon, things we're trying to raise money for. Feel free to contribute in any way, shape, or form. Still dropping things on the BlurredCon YouTube page that they keep forgetting to release. So today was Cree Summer and Rachel True. So yeah, things all over the place. Got my hands on a whole lot of stuff. Stay tuned.
Sweet. Before I do get to myself, guys, I always want to do shameless advertising. Why? Because it's shameless. Shout out to APR TV, or Always Press Record. Why? Because our show shows up on their networks. You can see APR TV on the Roku or Amazon Fire TV. Definitely check them out. They are the tables to where our viewership, our Patreon should be going, because importantly, our dollars will follow. But definitely check us out on APR TV, as well as Blurred's Eye View and other shows that show there as well. Also, check out BlurredStation.com. We talk about Blurred Station for well over a year now. That is another table, another area to where we should be giving our attentionship, our viewership, most importantly our patronage too, because again, we want BlurredStation.com to become as big as Tubi. Tubi is well worth over $200 million now, but Tubi is owned by the same guy that owns Fox, which tells you a freaking lot. That same amount of income, that same amount of viewership should be going to Blurred Station. Simply put, go to if you want to check us out, check out BlurredStation.com. Hit the join now button, select the Blurred's Eye View Affinity membership, and you can select anybody there, and you can stream Blurred Station for $10.99 a month on all smart devices. After 36 months of paying $10.99 a month, you do get the option to own a piece of Blurred Station. A few of our podcast brethren can definitely attest to that. Never been easier to own a bigger piece of a news network. Never has it been easier as well. But definitely check out BlurredStation.com. As for myself, guys, please check out the Give It Podcast on all socials, on YouTube. We would certainly appreciate that. Again, we are practically everywhere. Just make sure to put the GB Podcast, but you'll see our handsome faces there. At the same time, guys, myself, Black_Spartan615, can find me on the socials as well. You can like and follow. I'm pretty much a guy who likes to talk about everything. Just don't be weird, because I don't want to have to block you and have to tell all that mess. Keep it nice. Keep it clean. That's all we ask. Also check out Tafari TV anyway, because he does have his con series of what to do, of how to plan, how to set up, what to do during the con, and what to do after the con. I simply have 3 rules. Respect the cosplayer at all times. Cosplay is not consent. Please treat people like human beings. It's not that freaking hard. Number 2, wash your ass. I know as human beings, we shouldn't have to say that. But I feel like we still got to say that in this day and time. Not just for going to a con, but simply put going out in the world. Why? Because basically dirty people are diseases. We see diseases come up, cough and flus are up. The measles has made a comeback. Whooping cough has made a comeback. I don't want to see smallpox come back. So please, above all else, wash your ass. Use soap and deodorant. Wear clean clothes. Because again, especially in cons, because in cons are closed off places, and we'll know if you funky because you'll be too close not to notice. And the third rule that I have for myself is that I have for everybody else, guys, in a world that is cold, that is cruel, be nice, be kind, talk and share your fandoms. Don't be a dick, and we'll all be cool. At the same time, guys, don't doom scroll. The Reverend usually says this, but I'm just going to take a lesson from him. Don't doom scroll. We know a lot's going on in the world right now, but doom scrolling will not help you. Simply put, protect your peace. Find something that makes you happy. Do something that makes you laugh. Check on your people. At the same time, if you have the ability to make somebody laugh or feel good, whether it's for a minute, an hour, or a lifetime, go ahead and do so. The world could use more of that. At the same time, guys, we will hopefully be back here next Friday, Saying Get Bit Time, Saying Get Bit channel with news of the week. And let us know what you think. Like, share, and follow is all we ask. But before we call it night, any last words, Tafara?
Go see a movie. Go get a free comic book. It's the weekend. Have fun. Go see Sinners. Go see Thunderbolts. Stop by your local comic shop. Get invested in a new series. Go find something fun.
Oh, yes. And shout out to Sinners for selling out all of their IMAX screenings everywhere, which goes to show you black filmmakers can be profitable. But with that being said, guys, I've been Will. He's been Tafari. This has been the Get Bit Podcast tonight, guys. Thank you all for watching. Please take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll get through this. Have a good night, guys. Peace.